Good morning. It's Tuesday, November 14th. Here is what we're working on this morning. A Canadian-Israeli peace activist who went missing during Hamas's October 7th attacks on Israel has been confirmed dead.
A breakfast of champions will honor Hamilton athletes this morning, part of the Grey Cup Festival.
And Tupac Shakur could win his first Grammy almost 30 years after his death. Welcome to Morning Live. Obviously, Tim Boland not here. Brian Wood not here. Both celebrating their birthdays today. Happy birthday, gentlemen. Luckily enough, we have Steve Ruddock in house.
Good morning, Steve.
Good
How are things
morning.
looking on the roads this morning?
Well, they're looking pretty good. There is a little bit of drizzle, which we didn't really expect, but it's a little lake effect stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's check the roads right now and see what's going on. Just a couple of minutes after 6, just actually 1 minute after 6 o'clock. The roads are in pretty good shape as we speak. Again, there's just a little bit of drizzle, but not much out there. On the roads, let's start down towards Niagara and see what's developing down there. And things are developing quietly, and then the morning, that's kind of good. Looking at the Glendale interchange there, no problems. Lots of open spaces. Niagara Street looking just as well. Up by Burlington Skyway Bridge to the Hamilton area, traffic is building up eastbound, which is going left to right on your screen. Closest to us is starting to build up a little bit. East of Branch Street, we're seeing, again, a little bit more action out there on the roads heading eastbound. Other than that, we're seeing no problems by the Ford plant. Traffic's moving along great. East of Mississauga on the 403, traffic's fairly light right now. Glen Erin Drive, though, on the 403 is fairly busy. And up by Pearson Airport, lots of busyness yesterday, and it still seems pretty busy today. So we'll be watching that for you, and we'll give you your weather in a few minutes.
Thanks very much. A Canadian-Israeli peace activist who is believed to have been taken hostage in the October 7th Hamas attack has been confirmed killed. Vivian Silver's son says Israeli authorities told him her remains had been found earlier in her home, but were only identified now. Her son says Silver dedicated her life to peace building and fostering understanding between Israelis and Palestinians. Global Affairs Canada previously confirmed the death of 6 Canadian citizens during the October 7th attack on Israel.
Health officials say fighting between Israel and Hamas around Gaza's hospitals have forced thousands of Palestinians to run from the last safe havens of the territory. Critically wounded patients, including newborns, and their caregivers have been left behind as the conflict spills into civilian zones. The Israeli military has repeatedly urged Palestinians to head south, but its stated goal of separating civilians from Hamas militants has come at a heavy cost. More than 2/3 of Gaza's 2.3 million people have left their homes for safety.
Anti-Israel protests interrupted last night's Scotiabank Giller Prize Gala, although viewers at home didn't see it.
The winner of the 2023 Scotiabank Giller Prize is Sarah Bernstein, Study for Obedience.
Just as Bernstein's name was called as the winner of the $100,000 literary prize, a protester interrupted the live telecast with anti-war slogans. The protester was escorted out, but the CBC broadcast kept cameras off the incident for viewers at home. The celebrations were also interrupted early in the broadcast when several anti-Israel protesters jumped on stage. They were quickly escorted out by police. Sarah Bernstein accepted her prize from Scotland, where she had a baby 10 days ago.
Closer to home, precious cargo has arrived in Hamilton to kick off the Grey Cup Festival. Crew members held the Grey Cup trophy high as HMCS Harry DeWolf pulled into Hamilton Harbour. Fans waiting for the Cup's arrival were very excited, even though the Ticats won't be playing in this year's CFL final. Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horvath welcomed the Cup back to the city.
It's wonderful to see a city like Hamilton so full of excitement and so full of anticipation. It's palpable, no matter where you go in Hamilton, feeling the excitement. I've been told, in fact, that we have the most dedicated and engaged fan base in the entire CFL. I guess we're going to prove it this week, but I think that that's true.
Now, tickets for the 110th Grey Cup on Sunday between Winnipeg and Montreal are now officially sold out. There are lots of Grey Cup festivities taking place throughout the week. And with the Grey Cup trophy and the players arriving, there's still lots of questions about fans or how fans are actually going to be getting around all the activities with the HSR city bus workers on strike. Now, the HSR's union says it plans to block any shuttle buses trying to operate within the city to move Grey Cup fans. The city says it's asked the union to come back to the bargaining table, but the union says there's no point if the city won't move on wages.
Wages at this point in time are the wages, and they are not changing. We did reach out to them today, and the response is as long as there is no movement on the financial wages, specifically the wages, there is no interest in meeting with the employer.
Anywhere that they're shuttling people within the city boundaries would be a concern for us, and we will be looking hard at that. We've called on our friends in the labor movement to come to Hamilton and to join ATU Local 107 to ensure that there is no scabs operating in the city on that day.
And there are no future bargaining dates set. Well, the Grey Cup Festival includes today's Sport Hamilton Breakfast of Champions. It honors Hamilton's athletes. And Simone Gavros joins us from the Hamilton Convention Center with more on the ceremony this morning. Good morning, Simone.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Yes, today is the 23rd annual Breakfast of Champions, and it's going to be happening right here at the Hamilton Convention Center right behind me this morning, starting at around 8 a.m. Now, Sports Hamilton looks to recognize and congratulate athletes, teams, and coaches that play right here in Hamilton. The year-end breakfast highlights those who were provincial champions, qualified and competed as provincial champs at the national level, or qualified and competed for Canada at an international competition. Now, this year, the award ceremony was invited to be a community partner of the Grey Cup. And some of the award winners this year includes students from across the city, recognizing their talents in high performance and excellence. And various teams from across the city will be honored here as well. So that takes place all here this morning at the Hamilton Convention Center right behind me, and we're going to be talking with some athletes and the president of Sports Hamilton as well coming up later in the show. Adam, I'll send things back over to you.
Thank you very much, Mo. Let's take a look at sports. And the Bills were hosting the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. Starting off with a beautiful shot of Niagara Falls, and then things got ugly for the Bills. Too many injuries, too many turnovers, too many men, too many things continued piling up for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to overcome a 24-22 loss to the Denver Broncos on Monday night. The Bills, now 5-5, turned the ball over 4 times, with Allen throwing 2 interceptions and losing a fumble. Buffalo's injury-depleted defense, missing 5 starters, sagged in allowing Russell Wilson to march the Broncos on a 10-play, 57-yard drive that ended with Will Lutz hitting a 36-yard field goal as time expired.
Jones finding a cutting Avdia who rocks the rim. Kuz going left on Porter. Another layup. Strong start here by Kyle Kuzma.
To the hard court now. All right, I'm going to stop doing that. Where it was a strong start for Kyle Kuzma and the Wizards. Washington was up by 19 at the half, but despite being down a lot, late in the fourth quarter, Pascal Siakam and the Raptors fought their way back into this one. And with a score tied at 107 and the clock ticking down, Spicy P with a sweet touch, giving the Raptors the lead and the win, 111-107 over the Wiz.
That work in the corners again is really paying off, and just finding ways to find that seam. Drexler, wrist shot, score, game tie.
Just kidding. Oilers hosting the Islanders with a brand new coach behind the bench, and Leon Draisaitl responds the way you're supposed to, sniping his 6th goal of the season to tie this one up at 1s. In fact, all the Oilers' big boys stepped up in this one. In the third, McDavid finds Hyman in the slot to give the Oilers the lead on the power play. And now it's McDavid's turn to welcome his former Erie Otter coach to the team, streaking down the left side and squeaking one past Ilya Sorokin. Oilers hang on to win 4-1. Draisaitl finished with a goal and 3 helpers. To the Emerald City now, where the struggling Kraken were taking on the Avalanche, who really aren't playing that well as of late either. But Seattle turned out to be just the medicine the Avs needed. 5 different players buried the puck in this one for Colorado, including Mikko Rantanen with his 10th goal and Cale Makar with his 4th. Avs win big, 5-1. Henrik Lundqvist headlined a goaltender-heavy 2023 class inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame yesterday that also featured Mike Vernon and Tom Barrasso. The first time 3 netminders have entered together in more than 60 years. Also enshrined in the player category were Pierre Turgeon and Caroline Ouellette, while former NHL head coach Ken Hitchcock and the late Pierre Lacroix, who was both an agent and executive, went in as builders.
Okay, let's check your traffic now and see what's happening. 6:10 on your Tuesday morning. And again, a light drizzle in some areas, not a whole lot, and this will eventually peter up, but we'll get to that in a second. Checking your traffic right now, let's go and see one spot that was really busy yesterday, which was the Skyway Bridge, the Burlington Skyway Bridge, and it is more or less the same today. Eastbound, which is moving left to right on your screen, closest to us and away from us, is fairly busy as we speak. Down in Niagara, though, it's not so bad. Very, very light traffic as we speak through Niagara Street, Ontario Street, and up to Branch Street. Okay, that's not reporting right now. Up by the Ford plant, we're seeing traffic fairly light right now, but again, it is early and starting to build. 403 east of Mississauga was a little busier a few minutes ago, but now a little quieter. Glen Erin also much the same, a little quieter as we speak. And up by Pearson Airport, busy, busy all the time. All right, let's have a look and see what's happening weather-wise for us as we speak. High pressure will eventually push the clouds out of the way, and we'll see some sun into the afternoon, so it'll be a fairly pleasant day. However, right now what we do have is a little bit of a wind coming off of Lake Huron, and that's bringing some showers our way. Not much, it's very, very weak, but again, it's kind of drizzle as opposed to rain or showers, and this will stop over the next few hours, but it may be a little greasy out there to start the day today when you head out the door, but the sun will shine. Sun will be up eventually at 7:11 a.m. down at 4:57 p.m. Normal highs about 8 degrees this time of year, and lows around the freezing mark. So, combination of high pressure to the south and low pressure to the north is helping to funnel up a little warmer air. Starting the day, though, with a little northerly flow, and that's why we're getting the drizzle off the lakes, cooler air over the warmer Lake Huron area, a little bit of drizzle here. But as you see, as high pressure builds in, gets stronger, the air will come from the south, and that will change things, and the skies will clear for the next couple of days right into Friday, more or less. We've got some fairly pleasant conditions out there. So for today, we're looking for a high of 8 degrees, UV low, light winds, and clearing skies as the day goes along. For tonight, mostly clear skies, no precipitation, and a low of 2 degrees with, again, light winds. And tomorrow, we're looking for a high of 10, so a couple degrees warmer than today, more or less like yesterday, but 50-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts. Lots of sun, though, by the looks of things. So, again, heading into the next few days through Grey Cup week as it now comes along, things are moving along in pretty good shape as far as our conditions are concerned. We'll update everything for you. Look at the extended forecast shortly.
Thank you very much. I was just daydreaming there for a second. I could picture Steve singing, "The sun will come out tomorrow."
Let your bottom. So don't get me started, Adam.
So much singing coming from you.
Oh, it's going to be musical morning. All right. Emily, what do you have for us coming up in Chit Chat?
Well, speaking of music, we're talking Grammys.
There we go.
I think I just won one there.
Yeah, you really did. Or you read ahead and you were like, ooh, I know what I'm going to do for this segue. We're talking about a lot of firsts for this year's nominations.
All right, thank you very much. Coming up after the break, Stellantis has a new deal for some of its non-unionized workers, while non-union automakers are looking to keep collective labor at bay. Business news next. Welcome back to Morning Live. The Canadian dollar is down 8 basis points this morning. It's at 72.35 cents U.S. Gold gained $1.20, while crude is up 9 cents. It's at $78.35 a barrel. In midday, European trading markets, they're down in London, up in Frankfurt and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were up today in Tokyo, but down in Hong Kong and up in Shanghai. Checking North American markets, the TSX closed up 55 points yesterday. The Dow gained 55 as well. The Nasdaq slipped by 30.
Stellantis has announced plans to offer buyout and early retirement packages to 6,400 non-union salaried workers in the U.S. Now, the automaker says the move comes amid challenging market conditions. Non-union employees with 20 or more years would get a full year's pay under the buyout, with a declining scale for those with fewer years. Stellantis says it has roughly 13,000 salaried workers in the U.S. who are not union members.
Hyundai has joined Honda and Toyota in raising wages for its factory employees. The moves comes after months of strikes and negotiations between the United Auto Workers Union and GM, Ford, and Stellantis. Hyundai says it's going to raise factory workers' pay by a total of 25% by 2028. That will match the wage increases won by the UAW for the same time period. Industry watchers say this is all part of a move to stop the UAW from trying to organize unions at U.S. plants that are run by Tesla, which isn't unionized, and by foreign automakers.
Just because it glitters doesn't mean it's gold. Sphere is one of Las Vegas's biggest and newest attractions, yet the company that oversees the 18,000-seat music and entertainment center says the project is in the red right now. The company released its quarterly earnings, which shows the venue lost nearly $100 million. But company leaders say those figures are misleading because the earnings report includes July and August when the Sphere was not even open. It debuted in late September and has brought in nearly $8 million in revenue since its opening. About half of that came from shows at the site, the other half from advertising.
Amazon is slashing more than 180 jobs in its gaming division, cutting off large parts of its streaming and third-party support division. Instead, Amazon's going to focus on more in-house titles. Since last fall, Amazon has cut nearly 27,000 jobs in total. Last month, it announced a 13% increase in third-quarter revenue, up to $143 billion U.S.
Chip maker NVIDIA has revealed their newest innovation in the AI space, a GPU designed specifically to handle the massive data needs of artificial intelligence. NVIDIA says the chip has twice the bandwidth of its predecessor, meaning it can crank out data at 4.8 terabytes a second. To put that in perspective, that's equivalent to the data of over 5,500 full-length CDs. NVIDIA says that Amazon, Microsoft, and Google will be among the first cloud providers to deploy the H200 next year.
The billionaire who founded Apple supplier Foxconn has now qualified to run for president of Taiwan. Terry Gao has collected the required 300,000 signatures to qualify as an independent candidate. He announced his bid in August, saying that he wants to unite the opposition and ensure that the island doesn't become the next Ukraine. Gao is currently at the bottom of the pack in Taiwanese polls, putting him well behind the front runner.
All right, taking a break right now. Steve Ruddock will be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast. Don't go anywhere.
And welcome back to Morning Live, 6:23 now on your Tuesday morning. You may notice a little drizzle as you head out the door this morning, but this won't last long. It's a little lake effect rain we're getting off of Lake Huron. It's not really much of anything, but just to dampen things a bit. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. All right, checking the highways first of all. 401 up by Pearson Airport. It's fairly busy now. Again, 6:23. We're starting to get into the heavier stuff of the day, so be aware of that if you're heading up to Pearson, heading out the door. And as we go up to, well, we're not moving here. All right, let's go down to Niagara. Okay, we're not moving our cameras here right now. Let's try this again. No, just hang on. Up there we are. Let's go down to Niagara. Garden City Skyway eastbound. Again, looks like we're not seeing any rain down there. Road seems to be fairly dry and not a whole lot of traffic. But by the time you get to Niagara Street, looks like the trucks are moving pretty good shape. South end of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, seeing no problems out there. And again, let's hope it stays that way this morning. Now, all this week, our Emily Vukovic is in the Florida Keys, and she's checking out different regions each day. Now, to set up today's segments, we thought we'd check out the temperatures down that way. And just looking at things right now in Key West, Florida, 26 degrees at the highest Centric Resort. Just a gorgeous area down there. So that looks kind of nice this morning, 26 degrees. Not quite so warm in our area here, but we are going to see some sun later on in the day. But we are seeing, again, a southerly flow of air, which will, today at least, keep our temperatures close to seasonal, which is 8 degrees, and we should be pretty much bang on that, thanks to high pressure. But we're also looking as that high pressure builds in to get back into sunny conditions this afternoon and also into tomorrow and Thursday as well. So, again, leading up to Friday, which still is going to be our rainy day by the looks of things, we're in pretty good shape here, especially for those of you here to celebrate Grey Cup, and we welcome you to our city. So again, a little cooler air right now, bringing some showers. I don't even want to call them showers. It's almost like drizzle, maybe not even quite as good as drizzle out there. Just a little bit of the wet stuff, not much. It'll go away. We'll see some sun this afternoon, and clear tonight, and tomorrow will be sunny as well. And we're looking for temperatures a couple of degrees above seasonal, more or less like it was yesterday. So your day planner today shows that we could see a little showers to start the day. Might want to have an umbrella with you, but as the day goes along, temperatures get up to seasonal by the middle of the afternoon, 7, 8 degrees, maybe 9 degrees. And your evening commute tonight should be under mostly clear skies, especially in Niagara and Halton. Hamilton may have a little more cloud in the area, and our extended forecast shows that we still have a couple of nice days ahead of us as we get into Friday. That's our day, which we talked yesterday about some rainy conditions. After that, it gets cooler. Sunday, Grey Cup game, cooler for sure, 4 degrees, but we're not looking or anticipating any kind of precipitation, at least at this point. We'll check up with things a little bit later on. Now back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Steve. How about a little pepper with your pepper?
That's the thinking behind Dr. Pepper Hot Take. Puts a fiery spin on the pop by adding spicy peppers. The limited edition drink launches tomorrow. If you want a can of it, you have to be a Pepper Perks reward member or sign up on their website. May be part of a trend where people abandoned bland flavors or traditional flavors for more exotic tastes. Experts say the need for heat doesn't appear to be cooling off.
Yeah, see, I'm actually a huge fan of Dr. Pepper. It's one of my favorite pops, but I don't know about
But do you
this.
like heat?
I do like heat, but I don't know if I like drinking heat.
Yeah, do you want to drink heat?
I don't want to drink something spicy. Yeah. But I do like Dr. Pepper, and it's actually kind of hard to find a lot of places you go to nowadays.
That's right. Okay.
All right.
We're going to find some, maybe in our canteen fridge. Stay with us. More Morning Life.
Let's go. That's catch.